Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing the answers of questions from day 5 of the revision plan. All the questions we asked were of conceptual in nature that checks your basic understanding of the subject rather than the facts you have mug up. Question number 1. Which of the following statements are not true regarding organic farming in India? Statement 1. Organic farming tries to reduce the chemical input such as chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Option 2. Organic farming provides very high productivity compared to the chemical based farming. So anyone who has gone through the basic NCERT text will surely know what organic farming is. It is defined as an agricultural process that uses biological fertilizers. It tries to eliminate chemical pesticides and synthetic fertilizers as they are harmful to humans. So obviously option 1 is right, that it tries to reduce the chemical input such as chemical fertilizers and pesticides. And regarding the second statement, we all know that the fruits and vegetables we get from the backyard of our house is very smaller than what we get from the market. It's because it obviously lacks the synthetic fertilizers and chemical growth stimulants that are applied to the commercial horticultural estates. Therefore, we can conclude that the second option is wrong. The organic farming does not have high productivity compared to the chemical based farming. Second question, which of the following is a chief characteristic of mixed farming? Statement A, cultivation of both cash crops and food crops. B, cultivation of two or more crops in the same field. C, rearing of animals and cultivation of crops together. D, none of the above. So this is a basic NCERT question. But even if one doesn't know specifically what mixed farming is, it's possible to find out the right answer using common sense alone. The name mixed farming itself conveys what it means. It could always mean mixing of two kinds of different crops in a farm. But if that's true, look at the options A and B. Actually, both conveys the same meaning. Mixing of two different crops in the same field. So that can't be the right answer. Because if that's so, both option A and B will be right. So obviously, it would be mixing of animals and crops together in a field. In the UPSC prelims exam, we may not always right away know the answers for the questions being asked because the knowledge pool we have is limited. So for the questions that we don't have the answers, what we should do is we have to read the statement again and again and weed out the unlikely options from the questions. So we may not know the right answer, but using common sense, we can eliminate the wrong ones and can zero in on the answer. Only by taking that risk, you will be able to boost your marks in prelims. Apply the basic knowledge you have and give primacy to common sense. Question number 3. Consider the following statement regarding land use pattern. Current fallow land refers to a field which is left without cultivation for 3 years or more. Statement 2. Cultivable wasteland means a field which is uncultivated for more than 5 years. This is also a basic question we have taken from class 8 NCERT textbook. So this fallowing is a cultural practice where we lay the land idle for a certain amount of time. The purpose is that during this idle time, the land recoups the lost fertility through natural processes. And depending on the time for which lands are laid idle, they are classified into certain categories. One is current fallow, where the land is left uncultivated for one or less than one agricultural year. Another is fallow other than current fallow, where the land is left uncultivated for more than a year but less than 5 years. And if the land is left uncultivated for more than 5 years, it would be categorized as cultivable wasteland. So the answer is option B, 2 only. Question number 4. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. All states in India have scheduled caste populations. Statement 2. Jharkhand has the largest tribal population in India. Statement 3. Lakshadweep has the highest percentage of scheduled tribe population. Which of the following statements are true? This question is based on some basic facts that we have taken from 2011 census. And again, as I said earlier, it's not possible to know the facts for each and every question. But what you can do is you can apply your common sense and try to eliminate the unlikely options. Only by taking that risk, you will be able to get more right answers. Here, Madhya Pradesh has a large tribal population, and not all states in India have scheduled caste population. So the answer is 2 only. But if we don't know those facts, we can always search for the unlikely options among that statements. When we read these options again and again, we can find out that, see, Jharkhand is not among the large states of India. So it's unlikely that it has the largest tribal population in India. So going by that instincts, we can safely eliminate option 2. And the only answer remaining is option A, 3 only, which is the answer. Question number 5. Distribution of natural resources depends upon which among the following factors? 1. Climate, 2. Terrain, 3. Altitude. Again, it's a basic common knowledge that distribution of natural resource depends upon multiple factors, and the given 3, climate, terrain and altitude, are the most important among them. So the distribution of resources is unequal in different places, and it's because there are changes in these 3 factors, and they determine the kind of resources that are formed in an area. So the answer is option D. All are correct. Next question, number 6. Consider the following statements regarding irrigation in India. Statement 1. The share of canals and tanks in the total irrigated area has gone down, whereas that of tube well irrigation has gone up from the period of independence. Statement 2. Tanks are preferred more in northern plains due to properties of underlying rock structure. Which of the following statements are true? This question also we have taken it from the basic NCERT data. Compared to tube wells, these canals and tanks, they occupy a large area. So their share in irrigation has gone down since independence. And also, tanks are more preferred in peninsular region because the hard underlying rocks, it's difficult to penetrate them and build these tube wells. So mostly for irrigation they use tank wells. So the answer is A, 1 only. Question number 7. Which of the following is the main reason behind India being a major importer of coal? Option A. Country does not have sufficient coal reserves. Option B. There is a lack of technological know-how on coal mining. Option C. Most of the coal found in India is of non-coking quality. Option D. The coal mining licensing policy in India is flawed. India has sufficient coal reserves. But the thing is, 80% of the coal deposit in India is of bituminous type and it's of non-coking grade. And this non-coking grade cannot be used for metallurgical purposes. So the answer is C. Most of the coal found in India is of non-coking quality. That's why we have to import coals. Question number 8. Which of the following are features of Indian agriculture? Statement 1. Predominance of cereals and food crops. Statement 2. Mixed agriculture. Statement 3. Insignificant place given to fodder crops. Statement 4. Subsistence agriculture. All the statements that I have read now make sense with Indian agriculture scenario. They all are essential features of Indian agriculture sector. Hence the answer is option D. Question number 9. The traditional method of shifting agriculture which is practiced in Western Ghats is locally referred to as. This is also a basic question we have taken from the NCERT. The shifting agricultural method, commonly known as Jhum cultivation, is called in different names in different areas. It's called as Bewar in Madhya Pradesh, Kurwa in Jharkhand, Bringa in Odisha, and Jhumming in general. In Western Ghats, it's called as Kumari. Hence the answer is option C. Question number 10. Project Sure, often seen in news, is related to which of the following? The Sure project is aimed at India's apparel industry. It stands for Sustainable Resolution. It denotes a firm commitment from the industry to move towards fashion that contributes to a clean environment. That means Sure is aimed at sustainable apparel industry. Hence the answer is option B, textile industry. So that's all for today. If you have any suggestions regarding the video, you can put it down as comments. We will upload the topic and the next set of questions tomorrow.